Everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So here today we are going to be dealing with how you are going to be dividing your polynomials using the long division method. So let's get into it. So let's identify. So firstly, the one that is being divided into another, that is what we are going to call our divisor. So this is our divisor. Then this is the dividend. Then the result, we are going to call it our quotient. So let's do this. So we are going to have something that looks like this. We are going to put our dividend here. So we have our 6x to the power 3 minus 19x squared plus 16x minus 6, like that. Then we are going to put our divisor here. So we have x minus 2. So what we are going to have is that just get your, this one is the only one that shall be dividing. That is what you do. The highest power of the divisor is the only thing that is going to be dividing there. So this means that look at your first number, which is this one. Get it. So we are going to have our 6x to the power 3. You divide it by the one with x on the divisor, the highest power. So we are going to have something like this. So if you cancel there, you are going to remain with 6x to the power 2. So that is what you write on top here. So you are going to have 6x to the power 2. Then this value shall multiply. So we are going to have, it multiplies with this. So we are going to have our 6x squared. Then we multiply by x. This will give us 6x to the power of 3. So we are going to write our 6x to the power of 3 here. So we have 6x to the power 3, like that. Then we multiply this one with this one. So this is going to give us a value that is equal to minus 6 times 6x to the power 2 times negative 2. This will give us a negative 12x to the power 2. So we are going to write our negative 12x to the power 2. But we have already written a negative. So 12x to the power of 2, like that. Then from here, what you're going to do is that you're going to subtract. So subtracting, we are going to say subtract. You're going to put this in brackets. So what this means is that you're going to have your 6x cubed minus 6x cubed. So this is the same as 6x cubed minus 6x cubed. So this is where the minus stands in. So we are going to have a 0 for this one. So we can either write a 0 or just forget about it. But for this one, we are just going to write it since it's the beginning of the questions. So then you are going to subtract 19x squared minus negative 12x squared. So this is the same as having negative 19x squared minus, open brackets, negative 12x squared. So what we are going to have is that we are going to have a negative 19x squared. Then this and this we are going to have plus 12x squared. So when you add negative 19 plus 12, this will give us a negative 7x squared. So we are going to get the 7 and write it here. So it will be negative 7x squared, like that. So after that, we are going to divide again. So before we divide, we are going to drop the number here, the next number. We are going to drop it like that and say whatever that number is. Then from here, we are going to divide. So we are going to take our 7x squared, like that, 7x squared, negative 7x squared. We are going to get the highest power here, which is our x. We divide, it will cancel like that. We are going to remain with a negative 7x, like that. So this negative 7x shall be written on top. So we have negative 7x, like that. Then multiply. When we multiply, we are going to have a 7x, negative 7x by x. So negative 7x by x, this will give us negative 7x squared. So we are going to write this. So we are going to have negative 7x squared. Then this negative 7 by 2, this will give us a positive negative 7x times negative 2. This will give us this and this positive 14x like that. So we are going to write our 14x. So we have plus our 14x like that. Then from here, we are going to put these in brackets and subtract. So what are we going to get when we do that? So we are going to get a value that is equivalent to, we are going to have a negative 7x squared. We are subtracting, so we have minus, open brackets, minus 7x squared. So this will give us a negative 7. Then this and this, it will be plus a 7x squared. So as you can see, negative 7x squared plus 7x squared, this will give us a 0. So already there we are going to have a 0 there. So we are going to put our 0. Then our 16 minus 14. So we have a 16x minus 14. This will give us a 2x. So we are going to write a plus 2x like that. From here, drop the next number, which is our 6. So we have a minus 6 there. Then from there, what we are going to do is that get this value, divide it by x. So we are going to have our 2x divided by x. We are going to get a 2. So we are going to put our positive 2 there. Then from there, we are going to multiply 2 times x. This will give us a 2x. Then we have our 2 times negative 2. This will give us a negative 4 like that. Then subtract. So when we subtract this, we are going to get our 2x minus 2x, that's 0, negative 6. Then we have plus our 4. This will give us a negative 2. So we are going to write a negative 2 like that. So now let's just identify what we have. So as we said, this is our divisor. This, the result, whatever you get here, that's your quotient. Then whatever number you get here, that's your remainder. But due to space, I'll just write R. So now, sometimes in an exam, they might expect you to express it in a division algorithm. So the division algorithm requires us to express the polynomial in the form the divisor times the quotient plus the remainder like that. So now the way that you can remember this form is you can just look at the alphabet. So we have in the alphabet we have all these letters D, Q, and R. So you may realize to say D comes before Q, it comes before R. So the first two letters that come first, you combine them. So we have our D and our Q come first. Then R is far off on the alphabet. Then you just add the R. So this is the division algorithm form. So we write. So the equation that we were given, which was the dividend, so we are going to write it like this. We write the one that was dividing was our x minus 2. Then the quotient, which was the result, which is our 6x to the power of 2 minus our 7x. Then we have plus 2 plus the remainder, which is our negative 2 like that. So this is the division algorithm. Let's look at the next question. Let's say we have this equation. So as long as we have that, that means divide. So we are going to write something like this. Yeah. Now we are going to put our x minus 1. Then we are going to put this. So we have our x cubed. Now be careful. As long as there is, it must be followed. X cubed, we must have x squared, we must have x, then we must have a constant. So therefore, if we have such a problem, what we are going to write is that we are going to add a 0x squared plus our 0x until we get to 1 like that. Then begin our calculation. So this x cubed is divided by x. So x cubed divided by x, it will give us x squared. So we write our x squared here, multiply. So this times that and this times that. So x squared times x, it will give us x to the power 3. Then x squared times -1, it will give us negative x squared, like that. Then subtract. What we are going to have when we subtract, we are going to get a x cubed minus x cubed, that's a 0. 0 minus x squared, so we have our 0x squared minus our x squared. This will give us a positive, which will be our 0x squared plus our x squared, which will just be x squared because 0 doesn't add anything. So what we are going to have is that we are going to get a value that is equal to a positive x squared. Get this value, divide it by this one. What are we going to get? So we are going to get a x squared, we divide it by x, we are going to get x. So we are going to get, we write the x here, so we have plus our x. Drop the 0x there, then multiply here. So we have our x times x, this will give us our x squared. X times -1, that will give us negative x. Then from there, subtract again. So subtracting this, we are going to get a minus, put them in brackets. So we are going to have x squared minus x squared. This will give us a 0. 0 minus, which is a positive. So we're just going to write plus x, like that. From there, drop the 1 there. We are going to get -1, like that. Then divide x squared, divide by our x squared, divide just x divided by x. This will give us a 1. So you are going to write plus a 1, like that. Multiply 1 by x, it will give us x. Then 1 by -1, it will give us a -1. Subtract. We are going to get a x minus x is 0. -1 minus -1, this will give us -1 plus 1, which is a 0. So whatever we have there, it is just a 0. So in other words, we can just write a 0, one of the zeros there. So this means to say already the remainder is equal to a 0 there. So what we are going to have is that expressing it into the division algorithm, we are going to have our equation, which is our x cubed minus 1 should be equal to, we have our dx qx plus our rx, which is our remainder. So we are going to have the divisor, the one that was dividing, was our x minus 1. The quotient, which is the outcome, this value, we have x squared plus x squared plus our x, then we have plus 1 plus our remainder, which is a 0. Now if the remainder is 0, we can just leave it at that without even writing it. So we have our x cubed minus our 1. Let's look at our last question. So if we are dividing this, so what we are going to have is that, let's write our long division. So we have something like this. Let's put our dividend, which is our 2x to the power 4. Then we have plus our 4x to the power 3 minus our 5x to the power 2. Then we have plus our 3x. Then we have minus a 2 there. So what we are going to have is, here on the sides, we are going to get a value that is equivalent to x squared plus 2x. Then we have minus 3, like that. So divide. So the highest power is x squared. So you are going to divide it by 2x to the power 4. You divide it by x squared there. We are going to get a 2x to the power 2. If you divide this, 2 of the x's will cancel. So we are going to get a value that is equivalent to 2x to the power of 2. Multiply. So we have 2x squared times x squared. This will give us a value of 2x to the power 4. 2x squared times our 2x. So 2 times 2 is 4. So we have 4. x squared times x, it will give us x to the power of 3. Then we have our 2x squared times a negative 3. We are going to get a negative 6x to the power of 2, like that. Then from here, subtract. So we put them in brackets and subtract. So already we have a 2x to the power 4 minus 2x to the power 4. This will give us 0. Also this one, 4x to the power 3 minus 4x to the power 3. This will give us a 0 as well. So what we are going to have is that we are going to write a 0 here, 0 here. So we have 0 plus 0. Then we have negative 5x to the power 2 minus this minus our 6x to the power of 2. So what we are going to get is negative 5x to the power 2. Then we have plus 6x to the power 2. This will give us x squared, like that. So we are going to write our x squared in such a manner. So our result there will be a positive x squared. So if you have the zeros there is simply no need to write them. Then from there, what you are going to do is that divide this value. So we are going to have our x squared divided by x squared. So you are going to have x squared divided by x squared. This will give us a 1. So we are going to get a 1. So we are going to add plus our 1 there. So this, we have our plus 1 there. So our 1 times our x squared, this will give us x squared, like that. 1 times 2x, we are going to have plus our 2x there. Then our 1 times negative 3, we are going to have negative 3. Then all you have to do is balance the numbers that are there. So what you do is that you are going to drop all the values there. So we are going to get plus our 3x there. Then we have minus a 2 there. So what we are going to get is that subtract. We are going to have x squared minus x squared. This will give us a 0. 3x minus 2x. This will give us, so 3x minus 2x. This will give us x. So we are going to write x. Negative 2 minus negative 3. So negative 2 minus negative 3. This will give us a negative 2 plus 3, which will give us a positive 1. So we are going to write a plus 1, like that. So we have everything. So this one is our remainder. So this is our remainder. Then the other thing is that we have our divisor. Then we have our quotient. So let's just express this in the division algorithm form. So we have the value, which is our, so this value should be equal to divisor. We have the quotient plus the remainder. So we are going to have our divisor. So due to space, I'll begin here. So our divisor is our x squared plus 2x minus 3. So x squared plus 2x minus 3. Then the quotient, which is our outcome. So in this case, our quotient is our 2x squared plus 1. So we are going to write it 2x squared plus 1. Then we are going to write our remainder. Then we are going to have plus our remainder, which was giving us a r, which was giving us a x plus 1. So this is expressed in the division algorithm. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next tutorial. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more.